In the year 1923, Baba came to Ahmednagar, I think from Bombay, and he brought his close ones with him from Ahmednagar city to this place. It is now known, this place is now known as Dongargan. This is the village of Dongargan. It's a very dilapidated village, but it has a close association with Baba. When he came over here in the month of May, I think this is month of May, isn't it? So Baba was here in the month of May for the first time in Dongargan. And this is the month, you see, when Baba celebrated the birthday of one of the perfect masters, Upasi Maharaj. And that celebration, you see, started with having a chant in the village, inviting them, the villagers, for a feast given by Baba the Godman in honor of one of the five perfect masters, that is his master, Upasi Maharaj. So this village helped to cook the food. This is the village which partook of the feast on Maharaj's birthday in the year 1923. And Baba and all the Mandali fasted that day and served the villagers with his own hand, with the help of the Mandali, and gave them a good feast. And the villagers was all spread out here, you see, in the open, here. And that was the day, of Maharaj's birthday. But that was not the first day of his arrival over here. It was sometime in the month of May. And then he came and stayed down there, which is now known as Happy Valley. Happy Valley is the name given to a certain spot there where there is a bungalow, rest house, created by the Britishers during the World War #1. And the officers would come over here, you see, and while away their time or have some rest or relaxation. It's a very green spot. So we will now go to that spot. Now we go to the Happy Valley, the spot you see, which is very green and restful. Of course, this spot is known for giving happiness to people who come over here. At the same time, this spot is associated with certain tragedies also. Some accidents took place where a car went down the hill and toppled and killed so many passengers there. Then there was a hornet's nest, you see, that was disturbed, and a doctor and his family were badly stung and killed from. This is the road that leads to Wambori. It's a rich spot, you see, there for oranges. Baba traveled on this road so often, especially during his musk tours. Well, let's go to the spot now. It's too hot, it's month of May. This is summer season, we are in midsummer here. See, this place is, we have come to this place known as Happy Valley because it is associated with Avtar Mai Baba. But this place is also associated with his past advents when he was Ram, some thousands of years ago, nearly 7,000 years ago. And it is said that Ram, Lord Ram, when he was in exile with Sita, his consort, for 12 long years, This place was one of the stopping stations, and he halted over here and rested under the shade of the trees. But at that time, there was not much water around here, and it is said, it is a legend, that Sita felt thirsty. She wanted drinking water, and Ram shot an arrow in a rock, and water started out. And that is a place you see very sanctified, and this Happy Valley is also a place of pilgrimage, honoring that incident. And people from all parts in the Deccan, they come over here and stay for a day and then go back. That is called Sita Kund, a pond of Sita. And then there are other spots around here, you see, which are of interest, especially to the Hindus. There's a temple over here in the rock. So people who come from different parts in Deccan, they come and pay a visit to the temple. They worship the deity over there. And then there are other small temples around the trees or on rocks, and each one has his own faith, you see, and conviction, so they go and worship there. But then there are officers who come over here. They don't come for work. So now we go down the steps, Happy Valley. These are the steps you see used by Baba so often, taking his men and human disciples, Westerners and Easterners. And here is the place where he came for the first time in 1923 in the month of May, and stayed here with his followers who came from Bombay. Baba also had come from Bombay, and his first halt was at Happy Valley. You see the shape of the tree here, you see how old the tree is and the shape. And if you see it, it has its roots in the rocks. If you come down and see it. Come down and see the roots where they are now. Just see the height of the tree. I told you, with the trees right down and inside the rocks there. And there is also a niche over here where they have created a sort of a temple. It's known as Hanuman's temple. Hanuman was a devoted disciple of Lord Rama. He was the one who was given the assignment to burn Lanka, Ceylon, you see. And there are many stories and legends you see associated with Hanuman. Hanuman was considered to be the most obedient follower and disciple of Lord Ram. So here you'll find Hanuman's temple here. Baba would often admire at the size and the shape of the tree, you see. And sometimes he'd come and sit on one of the stones here, and we would be around him. It's nice shade, you see. That's all. Come on now, let's go to the main building, you see, where Baba stayed and slept also. Chalo, yeah. Now we go to the spot, you see, where, as I told you before, Ram shot an arrow because Sita was thirsty. He shot an arrow right into the rock, and water sprouted, and since then it is known as Sita's fountain, or pond of Sita. But it's very surprising now, you find that the fountain is dried. There's very little water in it. Otherwise, it is said that the water was there all the time throughout the year. But here now you find When Ram was on his return journey, it so happened that, you see, some sort of parties and farewells were being given by different kings who were in charge of the different dominions in India. So there was one king who had invited him for a party. They all knew him to be the God-man, mind you. So Ram was very anxious to return because Bharat had threatened that if Ram were to return even a day late, he would commit suicide. So Ram was very particular to return the same day. And it is mentioned in Ramayana that the king of the place promises Ram that Ram would return with his retinue exactly on the day that he had to return, because he had a plane, mind you, 7,000 years ago. So there's a mention there that he had an aeroplane which would carry Ram in no time to the place, within few hours. And that's how we come to know that there were planes some thousands of years ago, moving about from place to place. And the peculiarity of the plane, the name of the plane is Pushpavahan or Pushpaviman. And the peculiarity was that it is said that if the plane had the full capacity and at the 11th hour another passenger had to be taken, the space would automatically expand to accommodate the extra person. It is said so, mind you. And that's how sometimes an army would also be taken in the plane, you see. And there's a mention like this. Whether we believe or we don't believe, up to us. Now we go to another place, you see. So this is the and Baba has used this, you see, quite often, and brought his people over here and stayed with them. And here, this veranda has been used by Baba. The rooms are all used by Baba. The basement where we'll go now was used by Baba. And some days were passed by Baba over here with his Western and Eastern disciples years ago. You see where Baba named Pendu and Padri. Now we are going to the basement now. Where Baba named Pendu. His name is Aspanjar Irwin, but there he is named as Pendu. And Padri's name is person driver, Faridun Naswanji driver, but he was named as Padri. And this is the spot where people come from all parts to drink water. This is considered to be a sacred water pond over here, touched by Ram. But at the same time, it was also visited by Baba. When Baba visited this place, naturally he comes over here and he brings his people, and this is the pond, you see, this is the trough, you may call it, water drinking trough. So, sometime in the last week or about the 20th or 23rd of November, Baba and 4 of his New Life companions reached this spot one night at about 10 o'clock for rest. This is the spot in a village called Imampur. Baba was heading towards Meherazad, and were coming from a place called Gholegaon, about 10 miles from here. Baba was all tired. Of course, the companions were also tired. And Baba said that now it was about 10 o'clock in the night that we reached the spot, and Baba wanted to rest. So Baba said, let's have rest at this spot. Here is the mosque that you see, you see. It's an old, dilapidated mosque. During the British regime, when the British were the rulers of this place here, so this is the spot, you see, this is the old dilapidated mosque, and during the British regime, it was used as a rest house. And the Britishers came, their officers and all that, and used as a rest house. Then it so happened that after the partition of India, the Muslims petitioned to the government of India and got back the mosque. Prayers were held then, but when we came here with Baba, there were no prayers or no sign of the mosque being there. So it was all pitch dark when we arrived here. It was drizzling too, although it was the month of November. But we were so exhausted and fatigued with the journey. Right from Hyderabad, we were walking the distance to Meherazad. And this walking the distance from Hyderabad to Meherazad. And this was our last leg. And surely we were very exhausted. So we took Baba right there, right inside the mosque over there. And we, 4 of us, kept vigil outside. And a certain incident took place inside the mosque, which I am going to narrate now. Come on, come to the mosque now. We had to go inside the mosque to get the place where Baba was resting, you see, for the night. You see how dilapidated it looks. The whole thing, the whole drama was enacted in it. So although the mosque looks so dilapidated, but a very important drama was enacted in this last portion of the mosque, you see, the end wing of the mosque, which was considered to be the bathroom at the time when the Britishers used this mosque as their rest house. I will narrate the story when we approach the mosque there. You see that well there? When Baba came here in the night, you see, we were so exhausted, we did not know we did not know the topography of this place. But early in the morning when Baba prepared himself to walk towards Meherazad, naturally we wanted water, so we went in search of a well. We were very happy that the well was so close by. At that time these huts were not there, you see, on the roadside. So we went there to the well, we fetched water for Baba. Baba washed his face and then even took water from here, that is, he drank water from this well. It was a blessing in disguise, so to say, to have a well so close by for us at that time when we were so exhausted. This portion of the field was not cultivated when we came here. I remember that because we were sleeping on this side of the field. I remember that this portion was cultivated at that time. In the night when Baba wanted us to rest, naturally it was customary for the companions to sleep at a distance from Baba. Why? Because the companions who were exhausted after the day's journey and work, they created a sort of disturbance for Baba because of the snoring, you see. So it was preferable for the companions to keep away from Baba's bedroom. So Baba, you can see that white knob there on the door. That knob there was the sleeping room for Baba that night. And the 4 companions were told to sleep away from Baba, so this was the spot where they slept. But then even from this distance, the snoring was heard by Baba, and Baba told me, who was keeping a watch over there near the door, that I should wake them up and send them right near the gate there. Can you see the 2 pillars there of the gate? Yes. These 2 pillars, you see there. So they went and slept there. And I still remember that it was drizzling at that time. It was drizzling at that time. And we had no protection whatsoever. So we just slept there. And we took duties of night watch in turn, you see. Now when I reached with Baba at about 10 o'clock this spot, it was my duty to see that the room was swept clean and was made comfortable. It was my duty to keep the room keep the room clean and made comfortable for Baba. So, as soon as we arrived here, I started my work, my duty started. Come on, let's go to the mosque itself now. Let's go to the mosque. Approaching the room. Now we are approaching the room where Baba was made to rest. This is the room. This is the room which was made comfortable for Baba in the night. But the least comfort was, so after spreading a thin carpet on the floor for Baba and seeing that the place was kept clean away from worms and reptiles or snakes and scorpions in the darkness of the night, I invited Baba to take rest in this room. Being one of the rooms in the mosque, you see, the construction of this building is such that even a little noise that we create over here, echo. Baba came inside the room and relaxed, slept on the carpet that I had spread out and instructed me to sit outside the door. Baba told me to shut the door from outside and keep watch. Well, this continued for some time, then Baba clapped and I went inside. The room being in darkness, I had to light a match to decipher Baba's gestures. And Baba then told me that he heard some snoring of the companions, to wake them up and to tell them to go towards the far end of this place that is near the gate itself. I came back again and kept my vigil. After half an hour, Baba claps again, and again I see with the help of a matchstick, lighted matchstick, that Baba said some noise was heard inside the room. Well, I tried to search and find out. I heard some flapping of the wings. There were some doves nesting on the niches over here. You see, there are two niches there. So there was the noise from the birds. So I reported to Baba the birds were nesting there. So I reported to Baba that the birds were nesting in the niches there. Baba gestured that I should throw the birds out so that he can rest without any disturbance. So remember one thing, that while we were in New Life, we had to obey Baba implicitly, without any argument. And that was one of the orders for us in the New Life. The second order was that we had to remind Baba whenever there was any gesture on the part of Baba of unkindness, of cruelty. I being exhausted and knowing that Baba was disturbed by the birds, I completely forgot about the second order that was given to me, that I should remind Baba when there was some sort of cruelty in Baba's gestures or in orders. So immediately Baba ordered me to throw the birds outside the room. I went to the niches and tried to find out the birds, you see. In the meantime, Baba clapped and clapped incessantly. So I had to return to Baba to find out why he was calling me back. Again, with the help of a lighted matchstick, I found out that Baba wanted me not to throw the birds out, but to keep them there as they were. So I kept them there and came back to Baba, and Baba told me that there was something very wrong in the cat, and that I should remind him about it in the morning, the first thing in the morning. Well, after my night watch turn was over, I woke up Baidul or Gustaji or Pendi, I don't remember who was the next one. Yeah, we were four with Baba. Myself, Pendu, Gustaji and Baidul. So in turns we used to keep watching about. When it was early morning, before sunrise, Baba got outside the room, you see, and wanted to have water to wash his face and clean his mouth, you see, wash his mouth and to clean his face. So what happened was that we went in search for water. And luckily we had the well nearby, as I told you, and we got water. And after Baba was ready, he called all the four of us and told us to stand around him, for he wanted to say something. Now, Baba was not washing his face here or inside the room. There is a bathroom by the side of this room, and we took Baba with water there for washing his face. So soon after he washed his face, he called the four of us and he told us some things which I will narrate at the spot there. So now we go to the bathroom of this room. Now here the story. After Baba had washed his face, he called all the four companions together to circle round him. Then he told me to narrate the incident of the night before, and to tell the other companions what had happened. And I had to repeat the whole incident, and then Baba said that this was a very wrong act on the part of Baba, and at the same time it was complete disobedience on the part of Eruch. Eruch was ordered that he should remind Baba of any cruelty that Baba might impose upon any creature or anybody during the new life. So Baba said that if there is no other way out of it, as a sort of penance, you may call it, except that the four companions that are around him remove their sandals and beat him with their own sandals and spit on him for having been so cruel to the innocent creatures that were nesting in the room where he himself was resting. Being in new life, like automatons, we obeyed him. We removed our sandals, chappal, and each one slapped Baba on his thigh or on his back with the chappal and spat on him for having been so cruel to the creatures that were taking shelter in the room where he rested. This was a very difficult thing for us to do, but being in new life, we had no other go but to obey him. After the act was performed, after the drama ended, the reaction was felt by all of us who were in the act. But being helpless in new life, which was a life of hopelessness after all, we remained quiet and suffered silently. But the God-man set us an example of his humility and of being humbled in the eyes of others when he had committed a mistake. It was not he who had committed a mistake, It was one of his companions, Eruch, who had committed a mistake of forgetting the order. But he took upon his shoulders, you see, in order to forgive Eruch, he took upon his shoulders this punishment and set an example to the world how humble one should be in accepting one's own mistakes and at the same time accept punishment for the same. So this drama that was enacted over here, I have narrated to you in few words. The drama that was enacted over here, I have narrated to you in few words, but the memory of it lingers, and I don't think it will ever be erased of my mind. I have before my mind's eyes all the things that happen here in this room. Now it's so dilapidated, but it has been sanctified by the presence of the God-man, where he has set an example for humanity, how one should be humble and honest in life. It's very painful for me to come again and again with the visitors over here and narrate the same incident and point them out the particular room where this act was perpetrated on the God-man by his own companions. But it was all done in complete obedience, surrender and love to him. And that is the end of our story of this place where Baba stayed for the night on his last leg towards Meherazad, ending the new life phase. Well, if you all want to see the room, you all will come inside and see the room itself. And yeah. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. Ki jai. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai.